Take it all in. The view from Lumbridge Castle. An iconic place in all of gaming where we all start our RuneScape adventures. Anyway, nice to meet you. This is Cheapskate Chunk, a free-to-play only one chunk Xtreme Ironman account. And say hello, Cheapskate. He says hello. Anyway, so why free-to-play? Why would we do that to ourselves? Well, if I'm honest, this is where I lived most of my childhood. I didn't really have a members account, and really, I never really got the opportunity to go into members world, so I wanted to do a one chunk account which focused solely on the free-to-play experience. There's plenty of people out there that's doing members content. I'm sure there's also plenty of people doing free-to-play chunk accounts. But I just wanted to do my own little journey, and I hope you're happy to come along with me for it. So, first of all, we'll be starting out in Lumbridge, as everyone did when they started their journey. I just thought it's a very suitable place to start an account like this. Our end goal is to unlock all of the free-to-play map of RuneScape, as well as complete Dragon Slayer 1. Now, embarrassingly, I never completed this, ever. So that'll be the first time for me going through all the even free-to-play quests of RuneScape as we go through this. So look forward to me bumbling around, not knowing what I'm doing for most of this, because I'm not an expert RuneScape player. I've only ever played a little bit before I started this chunk account, but I really, really enjoyed watching other people do this. So yeah, I hope you enjoy watching me bumble around as well. But first, what's the difference between starting Lumbridge as a member and starting Lumbridge as a free-to-play player in terms of tasks? Well, first of all, as a free-to-play peasant, we do not have to get skill capes. Yay! So that means in this chunk we don't have to get 99 defense and we don't need to get 99 woodcutting. That's fantastic. So, what are the chunk tasks? Well, let's break them down. So, before we go into chunk tasks and everything that goes with that, the eagle-eyed of you may have noticed I have 34 hit points and 29 prayer. So, I've actually been already well into this chunk account. I've actually completed this chunk already. So this first video will actually be going over not just the chunk tasks, but how I completed those chunks. Now, I don't have much footage of me doing it live because I didn't actually anticipate this being a series. This was going to be my own little personal thing. I wasn't going to share with anyone. But after I completed my first chunk, I thought, you know what? Why not document everything? So today we're going to go through all the chunk tasks I did. And let's start with like the first thing we did. Of course, it was pick up our Iron Man armor from this guy. We got our armor. Obviously, he's going to say we've already got it. So here it is. And that was a chunk task for us. So that was the first one. And then, of course, we went over here. And I don't have the training sword on me right now, or my runes, or my range gear. But let's see if he lets me take another one. No, he already says it. Says I have it. But I got my training shield and sword from them. I got ranged equipment from the combat tutor, and I got, importantly, runes from the magic combat tutor. So that was the first thing I did. And then, of course, we ran over to get our next thing, which was through the goblins, right here, all the way to this little house here. You can see a lot of free-to-play folk out today, killing some goblins. Lovely to see it, lovely to see all the bots and such in action. But yeah, we go over here, and we got our Iron Dagger, which is our best in slot for magic. And then, just to complete the things that we could get without actually getting any drops or anything, we went into the basement of Lumbridge Castle, which I will cut to now. And down here we got our leather boots, which are best in slot for boots. And they're looking rather sexy with our Ironman armour. And then of course we were left with other tasks to do. So the first thing we needed to do was honestly kill a rather large amount of imps. Because one of our chunk tasks was cook a raw chicken. Now you'd think, yeah, that's pretty easy, right? All you need to do is kill some chickens, get their meat, and cook them. It's only a level 1 task, right? Easy. Not so much in this chunk, because the only access we have to raw chicken is imps. And they are slippery little buggers. Right now, even though I saw one in the castle a few moments ago, he seems to have given me the slip, as he did throughout this entire chunk experience, and I wish I did record all my pain to share with you. But I killed, and you'll like this one, exactly 69 imps to get all the drops I needed. And of course, while I was murdering over 69 imps, I was fighting a load of men while I was waiting for the imps to respawn and when they ran away, and that got me the bronze med helm, which was very nice. It's our best in slot for range. And let's move on to the next task, which is to craft a ball of wool. Now, theoretically, this is a very easy task, right? And I think it's a good thing. Just level 1 crafting, we just do a little bit of buy some shares, we get some sheep, we get some wool, we craft a ball of wool. All very easy. And yes, for this chunk, it's easy. However, it does give us a rather nasty little bit of a level 1 crafting method, which in future chunks might come to bite us in the bottom. So here we are. This is where we'd go to craft balls of wool. Like I say, it's a bit of a journey to get here. But there we are, 1 ball of wool. And that would be our crafting method if we, say, rolled to the cut emerald grind, which I believe we'll be getting to in the, I think, mid-20s or something for the crafting. I don't know. Either way, not particularly enjoyable if we end up with that grind. But not the worst, either. So, moving on to our next little task on the list. Oh yeah, I've got to mention earlier, got a bronze square shield from beating the living Jesus out of all these goblins over here. Very, very nice. Now let's talk woodcutting. Of course we had to get 60 woodcutting in this chunk. Now what we did first, obviously we chopped down normal trees like this. We went a little circle over here. And then about level 15 we went to the oak trees over here, cut a load of those down. And then, of course, we went to the willow trees just behind the pub over there and cut a load of those down until we reached 60 woodcutting. And of course, during this time, we also lit them all on fire. So, just for a little bit of woodcutting content, I'm going to cut a few logs of each tree and then show you us cutting the yew tree right at the end, which is actually in the graveyard over here. But yeah, this was obviously the longest part of the chunk. It took a lot of time, but in between this I was like raising my stats equally, so I was doing the magic grind and the woodcutting grind almost in tandem with each other. And we'll go over the magic grind in a little bit. But yeah, let's just set on fire this yew log just to show you the wonderful flames it produces. Look how beautiful this campfire is. Very beautiful. Now let's talk about the magic task. So the chunk picker actually says it should be level 42 magic to cast Monster Inspect. Now, you may notice down there, it says members only. So this is a member skill, but it can be cast on free-to-play worlds at level 0. Now, because it's a bug, really, we can cast Monster Inspect on free-to-play worlds at level 0. I'm not going to count it as a chunk task, even though I realised this very late that this was actually a members only skill, so I'm actually already at 39 magic as of recording this. It's actually Firebolt we need, but that doesn't change how we get to 35. So to get air runes, our only way of getting them is from the magic tutor. So you see I have like 2,000 of each type there because I've been doing this quite a lot. Every half an hour we need to claim some air runes and do it that way. So we did that for a long time. Cast Wind Strike on goblins, where we'd eventually get the bronze square shield, brass necklace, all that stuff. And we did that while we were doing the woodcutting grind and while we were doing the combat grind. We were really mixing it up. And yeah, this was a very fun chunk. And of course, I'm just going to go cut to us at the bank, because I'm going to go show you the things we got from clue scrolls, as well as random events, because we did get some cool stuff, and I want to show you it before we have to go to the next chunk. Now, I just realised I haven't really touched on the quest tasks. Now, we have 4 quests that we can semi-complete, one being Cook's Assistant, where we had to talk to the chef and then get a flour and some eggs, or some flour and an egg, rather, for the chef here. Now, we killed enough imps, we got the flour and egg in the end, and we've already given them to the chef. He's now whining about not having any milk, which we can't get just yet, unless we roll to the north and get the cow field. As for our other quests, we started Room Mysteries, we have the Air Talisman, that's as far as we can get. We also started the Restless Ghost, where we talked to the father in there. He gave us a quest to go into the swamp and find the Ghost Speak Amulet. Now, we have completed those as far as we can. We also completed as much as X Max the Spot, where we got our clue scroll from Rails over there, dug here around Pop's axes, got another clue scroll, and then dug at the end of behind the castle to get the little orb thing that will tell us to go to the southwest of Draenor. So not much else to do with quests right now until we roll some other chunks. But yeah, I guess we should go to the bank to show you what I got from some clue scrolls. So before we go into the chunk picker and relive the first chunk roll of the account, I've got another question for you guys. What do you think about how we should treat random events and clue scrolls on this account? Now, they're not chunk specific, but I feel like we always, as chunk accounts for the most part, treat them as sort of like free upgrades when we get them. You saw me earlier, I had the steel plate body and the longbow from a clue scroll. Steel plate body from a random event, longbow from a clue scroll. But those random events also give us other things, like this sapphire you see chilling in my inventory right now. Now, I think I probably should have thought of this before I rolled my first chunk and started doing tasks in the next chunk. Should this sapphire I got from a random event mean I have to get the crafting level in this chunk, because I have a level 1 crafting method, remember, to cut this sapphire? I'm gonna leave that one up to you guys, because I'm mixed on it. I like the idea of random events sort of like being this double-edged sword where you can get something really good that could help us with grinds, especially clue scrolls, which could get us sort of like a black pickaxe or just a set of black armor or something, which could really help us on our way. But it could also give us like gems or runes, which could mean we have to cast a higher level magic spell and give us a bit of a grind. So let me know what you think. Should we just treat random events as like free upgrades, essentially, for whatever we get? And they're just bonuses and just ignore the things they give us which are inconvenient? Or should I be doing some balls of wool right now and lamping, crafting more to get cut these gems I'm gonna get. Let me know. I'm very interested in what everyone else's opinion is on this because I'm torn. I'm pretty. Part of me doesn't want to do the balls of wool thing, of course, but the part of me also thinks maybe we shouldn't be getting handouts from random events if we're not willing to take the risk of also getting like a big grind out of it. So yeah, in two minds about that. Let me know. So here we are in a chunk picker. Now I'm actually a bit sorry here because we didn't actually do a live chunk roll for my next chunk. And I'm actually already quite a bit into the next chunk. So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and go like, oh my god, we rolled this chunk and then it not be like a genuine reaction. Instead, I'm just going to go over the chunks that we could have rolled, what I think of them, and then I'm going to reveal what we actually rolled. And then next episode, we're going to go into what we've done in that chunk. And then by the third episode, we're going to be like doing actual one chunk gameplay rather than me explaining my progress. So, first of all, let's go from 1 to 2. Number 1 is it's would have been my favourite one to roll. It only means we'd have to get a level 40 cooking, which is a bit of a grind when you consider when we roll that chunk, our only real cooking method will be cooking meat. And also stews at some point until we get to cakes. But it's pretty doable, and I think it'll be my preferred chunk if we rolled it, because we can complete Cooked Assistant as well, which helps us on the way with the cooking grind, and also complete a quest, which is fun. Number 2 is less fun. It would be a crafting grind to cut an emerald from the emerald store. Now, depending on what you guys decide we should do with like the random events as well, we could already be in that grind by the time this episode goes out, or by the time the next episode goes out, and the one after that we'll probably be doing a crafting grind anyway. So maybe that wouldn't be so bad to roll. Number 3 is actually the worst chunk we could possibly roll, I feel, because on paper it's not so bad. It's high level alchemy. It's getting 18 smithing, and it's getting a jug of wine for cooking a jug of wine, and getting a red cape from goblins. There's quite a few pretty nasty grinds in there though, because we'd have to get 18 smithing by getting tin ore and copper ore from monster drops, which is less than ideal, rather than mining them. And it also puts us pretty close to a pretty nasty chunk down here, which is this one, which is got adamant ore in it. Want to avoid that, which is also one of the reasons we kind of want to avoid number 4, because although it's actually a pretty good chunk in isolation, we'd actually get access to fishing, which would help to a cooking grind if we rolled number 1 later. Would actually get access to a pretty basic mine with copper and tin, which helps with the small smithing grind we could get in number 3 a lot. And here, though, we also get a quest to complete, which would actually give us crafting experience, which helps us on the crafting grind. But we also have to spend 200k on a gravestone, and we don't have great money-making methods. But to reveal it, here's what we rolled. I'm going to make it a bit suspenseful. We rolled number 4. So if you look at, we'll go over the tasks in the next episode, but quickly, we have a quest to do, we have some bronze to make, and we have some fishing to do. Now, I've actually pretty much done all the tasks. I may redo the quest on screen here with a different account just to give us a bit of content. But we've pretty much done all the tasks in here as well, except for unlocking the gravestone. So the next episode will be going over what the chunk tasks we've done there, how we've completed them, as well as some footage from the quest. and how I'm going about earning 200k, and we'll be going into that next time. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed your time here with us here in Cheapskate Chunk, and I'll see you in the next episode. If you want to subscribe after this disaster of first episode, feel free and leave a like. See you next time.